How many times have you been told to avoid certain foods because they have empty calories? It's not that they have no calories, they just aren't nutritious. That can mean snacking or overeating too much because you don't feel full or satisfied. Registered Dietitian Whitney Stuart has information on how to max your meals at Whole Foods for better health and weight control without missing out on taste. Whitney, we've heard that saying, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food, but it's not always your friend, which is something that you found out early on.
Yes, ma'am. I was diagnosed with celiac in 2009 and it completely rocked my world. And frankly, I had a lot of food fear.
Yeah, when you say celiac, what is that and what issues were you having with certain foods?
Yeah, celiac is an autoimmune and that really presents as an intolerance of gluten. So, because I had been eating gluten for a lovely 18 years of my life, I had quite a bit of inflammation in my gut, and learning how to navigate that while also going off to college halfway across the country from Seattle to Dallas was super overwhelming. And I realized maybe God was telling me that this was more than just a life change, it was part of a career.
Yeah, because with that said, the right foods can, as I said, act like medicine and nutrition, obviously, for your body. You originally planned to be a doctor, but a mentor gave you a different perspective.
She said, building rapport and bedside manner might come from a position where you can work more hands-on with patients. And knowing my personality and how relational I was, I realized that that was incredible advice going into school. So I studied pre-med, but went into clinical nutrition, knowing that becoming a dietitian gave me the ability to share messages that could stick with patients and help them make sustainable changes that could maybe keep them from some of the fears that I had experienced.
Yeah, and we're also looking at foods that have been there all along, but we kind of forgot about them, but they've kind of gotten a renewed interest. Let's take, for example, this idea of fiber max. And you know what, Whitney, I just met you, but let's go on a date.
There is a date for everybody on this table.
The dates themselves, this is a great way to get fiber and help keep you full and support digestion. And there's different ways that you can fix them.
Yes. So I have Natural Delights Medjool dates here today, and I have 5 ways to use 1 tub. I know that just 1 to 2 dates per day gives me about 3 to 4 grams of fiber. So I'm going to add that in a variety of ways. You can do it sweet with your peanut butter energy bite, which is simply just a date stuffed with peanut butter and chocolate. And if you like that combination,
yeah, this is like really
sweet,
good.
I am the date influencer. So let me just tell you, if you eat these every day for the rest of your life, don't blame me.
No, don't blame you. No, it really is good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. But as you mentioned, different ways of doing it, a salad hack as well.
Yeah, so instead of a crouton, I really like getting a deep contrast of flavor by cutting a date on top of my salad. And then if you're really into savory, I wrap it with prosciutto and basil and add some goat cheese. The ultimate appetizer for spring entertaining, let me tell you.
And then a smoothie booster because you can use that natural sweetness.
Yes. So because dates are whole and there are no added sugar, there are no refined sugar, and people are looking for ways to get more fiber and less sugar in their diet, I throw a date into my smoothie as my sweetener, and it gives it a creaminess and this maple caramel bite, a little bit of sea salt on top, and you're set. But you can add in protein and meet all your needs in one complete liquid meal.
Yeah, it's interesting to say add in protein. Sometimes people think that protein is only in a meat. You can find them in certain other things as well, like your cheeses. All right, so let's look at our charcuterie board where we can do a protein max.
Yes, I am super excited about this beautiful charcuterie that we have today. I think people don't realize this is a great way for entertaining, but you can also add in so many nutrients. So True Story Foods is expanding nationwide in Whole Foods. They now have their prosciutto, their pepperoni, their hard salami, and Genoa salami. And I have done this in a variety of ways, whether it's paired with a fruit or a vegetable or a cracker, to get in protein forward ingredients, no antibiotics, no nitrates, no nitrites, in a really delicious presentation.
Yeah, and that is so important because the meats might look like familiar meats you've had on there, but as you mentioned, no additions of all those other things that get us into trouble. So good to know. All right, snacking is another area where so many people get into trouble, so we can snack max with a good conscience.
You might have seen bean, edamame, and chickpea in Whole Foods. They're one of my favorite go-tos, but they actually just launched in Costco with their big size, big families, big fun for summer. This is a great option to have on hand. 1 ounce of their edamame has more protein than 2 eggs. We get 13 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. So we have protein and fiber max today, and I feel like this is the combo product to give us that. and it's crunchy. If you are anything like me and my toddler, I like crunchy snacks and I want them to also have nutrient density. This is the perfect example of that.
Yeah, and you've shown us kind of what we can do with all these things here, because we naturally like things that are creamy and smooth, right? So you get us out with the peanut butter and then the cheeses, but also the crunchy part, like you just said. And edamame, this tastes so good. And the chickpeas as well, this tastes good too.
Isn't that amazing? This is like your whole protein fiber max at Whole Foods and Costco. I'm trying to help people give more value to their dollar when they're grocery shopping. I feel like it can be really overwhelming that you don't know what to buy. And having just a few of these brands on hand can be so versatile, obviously, so many different ways that you can use them this summer, whether you're entertaining or just looking to add more protein and fiber to your family's diet.
Yeah, this is a great way to get the kids off to come in from the swimming pool. Here's your meal and keep on moving. Whitney, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And you can download a free Max Your Cart shopping guide with all of today's recipes. Go to witnessnutrition.com/maxyourcart. You can also follow Whitney on social at Witness Nutrition. We'll be right back.